Hello, scrappy friends. My name is Diane Gutierrez, and this is Workshop Wednesday. Welcome, welcome. We are going to do some scrapbooking today, and we're going to work in our series that we haven't been in a while called, I like to call it Border to Pages. So we are going to create a border, and I'm going to create a companion piece, which I like to do for the second page. Then we create the 2-page layout. Let me turn my screen around and we're going to actually I want to show you the border that we're going to work on today. But here's the border. So I saw this border first on the Creative Memories marketing material. And if you didn't know this, whenever they send out the marketing material so we can start putting it out there for everybody, then these usually show up on the blog at some point. And this one did. It came up on the blog maybe a week or so ago. So I went ahead and put the link to the blog post in the description of this video. So you can click on that if you want to see the original posting. And I highly recommend going over and looking at the post because I think there's 2 or 3 other borders on that same link, so you can have more ideas to use with this springtime Soiree collection. And that's what those pretty papers are. I'm loving this collection. I'm going to make this border exactly what we see here today. A lot of times I like to recreate them, but this one really is speaking to me, and I want to use this border on a page. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, let me flip over to my desktop and we'll go ahead and begin. So here's the paper that I'm going to use for these first 3 are the border, and then this blue one I'm going to bring in for my page and my companion piece. Okay, so that one we'll come back to. But these are the 3 papers that make up the border today. And I'm going to start with this beautiful floral paper and put these other 2 aside. And okay, so the back is the green. There we go. First thing that we have to do is get our scissors because we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. This is a perfect design to fussy cut. We're going to come in here and go up and around each of these little arches and dips. Take off this first row here. Okay. And I'll save the rest of those for another project. We won't be wasteful with it. So that's just going to take me a minute to go through and do that. And as you can see, I'm just following along the blue line. I don't want to cut too much of that blue line off. I want to have some more blue in my layout. So my layout today is going to be just a base page. I don't have any photos because I'm going to save this page. We have some family coming into town in a couple weeks, just before Easter. My son and his wife and our new grandbaby are coming into town. We are having a family get together, and I'm making it all springy. All the decorations will be springy. It's not going to be our Easter celebration, so I wanted to do something different and do it all spring. So I'm going to save this layout and be completely ready for when I have those photos. I know I'm going to have lots of photos. Maybe it'll just be a grandbaby page. We'll see. I think that these pages are so beautiful, it would make nice baby pages as well. Now we need to trim this down. This is going to become the base of the border. So I'm going to trim this down to 2 3/4 inches. So I'm going to take that top peak and put it on the 2 3/4 inch line. And then we want to bring in our circle punch. I should have put it on the screen here for you guys. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Now we could see what we're working on. We'll put it right there. So you'll see how it has circles coming out the top, these peaks. And for that, we're going to bring in our 1 3/4 inch circle, and we're going to punch out 4 in our green paper and then 4 in yellow. Collection is currently sold out, and when I planned to do this, that wasn't the case, but it is coming back in. I think we just need another couple days. It said it'd be here in March sometime. No, I like it like that. Do I need one more? Yeah, we'll play with this more. Let me get the rest of the cutting done and we'll line all those. We're going to bring back in our green flower piece here, and we're going to punch with our border making system. We're going to punch one with this floral, and then we're going to come back in with some avocado and do a second punch. Because if I think the directions will tell us to attach these, adhere them together, and then trim it. But that's okay. We could get the same idea. Now, I love this look. It's great like this, but sometimes it doesn't show up that as well on patterned paper. So once you put a little bit of a shadow behind it, it really makes those watering cans pop. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this adhered on here. And get a little bit of a shadow effect. You can make your shadow as big and detailed as you want. Like if you want it more, you can make a bigger shadow. I just wanted a little bit across. There we go. Now let's give this a trim. This is 1 5/8. It's gonna go right on top of this, like that. So let's go ahead and get some of this adhered down. And it's gonna come right down here to the bottom of the base of our border, and you'll see here how the watering cans are going to go up into the flowers. Okay, let's figure out these circles now. I might be trimming off a little bit here actually. Looks like that's what they did. I'm just going to tuck it because I really just want them behind each of the peaks and the valleys. I think I'm going to come back and put one more circle there. It doesn't tell us to do that, but instead of trimming it and making it shorter, I'll come back in with one more circle. And I want it flush with the edge. And there we go. So it's going to look like that. So I have one extra circle than they had in the blog post. Our next thing is we're going to bring back in the yellow and add a little bit more detail. You could see up here in the border that they did, they have this yellow stripe down here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. And this one we need just 3/4 of an inch. And then the avocado green we're going to bring back in, and we only need 1/4 inch of this one. I'm gonna bring it up about, like, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch and adhere it so I could still see a little bit of that green, so we know that that piece runs all the way behind there. There we go. And now this little piece, and this one's gonna go same thing, about about a 1/16 of an inch up on the yellow, so the yellow is popping through. There we go. And that's the border. Let me bring in the stickers. They used this one, which I really like. It says "Hooray for Spring." I think I'm going to pop mine up onto some foam. So we have "Hooray for Spring," and then a little banner. If you want to change up your stickers that you use, of course, that would be, if you want to make it more toward your theme. But since mine's going to be a spring party, then I'm going to go ahead and keep it like that. And you can put it anywhere across here. I think they have it over here a little more. Let's see if we like it. I was thinking more of putting it onto a green section and the yellow on the outside. So I think I'm going to do that and then tuck this little "Hooray for," or "Spring is here," like that. There we go. There we go. Let's go ahead and work on a little bit of what I like to call a companion piece, something that it's going to go on the other side of the page. I'm going to go ahead and remove this border now. For that, I'm going to bring in the blue paper. I want to highlight the blue outline of the paper here and kind of help that pop. And also on our little banner here, we have some of the blue plaid paper. So I'm going to do a 3-inch cut. In fact, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and change my blade. I was going to change it and do a decorative blade, just something different. So I'm going to bring in this pinking blade while I trim this down the rest of the way. And so I'm going to do probably 4.5. Yeah, 4.5. Sounds good. And I'm just going to give it a little trim. The size doesn't matter. In fact, if you needed a bigger one, then you can do it bigger or smaller. My only goal here is to bring in some of those elements. And I know I want to bring in, save room on this layout for for full-size photos because, well, two reasons. One, because I'm not sure which photos I'm going to use, but also if I leave room for a 4x6 photo, I can later change that a lot easier than it is to add room if I left smaller space. You'll see when I get to my layout. Okay, so here's my little rectangle. It's approximately 3 by 4.5. And I'm just going to bring back in actually my circle punch because I want to bring in some of the elements, and we have a circle here. And let's see, so let's bring back in some paper. I think I'm going to bring in the yellow and some more of the green. I want to do like a banner. Banner is my go-to element when I'm not sure what else I want to do. I can go for a banner and add a banner. So let me do a couple small banners, clean this paper up at the same time, and we'll do the same thing here. Okay, so I'm bringing in some green and some yellow. Let's give it a little banner cut. It just adds just that little bit of something else. So I always go to this one. So this is my idea here. Come back and trim that off. And now I do want to still bring in a circle. So I need to make a decision here. I can't use blue or yellow or green. Let's look at the back sides actually. Oh, we used that one. And that would be too hard. That wouldn't look so good in a circle. This one. Let's try this one. It kind of brings in all the colors to the top. Let's get our sticker. Because I do want to bring in a sticker for the top of my circle here. And I was looking at a couple. I like this watering can, and I also like the boot. Maybe the boot. Oh, a lot of blue here. Let's try the water. The watering can's blue too. It's gonna need to go on foam tape, whatever one I decide. Let's go with the watering can. There. That looks cute with it needed foam for sure. It helps pop it up, and it doesn't look so, like the colors behind, it doesn't look like the blue is absorbing right into the background. Okay, but I think it needs something else. I want to bring in some purple, I think. I like this one. It says, "What a lovely day." Scoot everything up. Watering can will come right on top like that. Let me put some of this stuff away, and we'll get our base pages or some pages in here and create this layout. I think it looks so beautiful with bright white because it really helps these colors to just pop right out. Okay, so my border will go on one side, my companion piece on the other. I think if you've watched any of my Border to Pages series before, you know that since we spent all this time decorating our border, that I tend to go a little bit easier on the embellishments and make my page super simple. So this is going to come around. I generally go here or something. So let's see if we like that today. I'm going to bring back in the blue plaid. Go 6.5. I'm going to use this just for some layering piece and tuck it up here in the corner, or maybe, let's see, not quite in the corner. I want it coming out the top and the bottom. It's a little shorter than I was hoping. 5. We're gonna have to bring it down a little. I was hoping to have it, oh, I know what I could do. I'll trim another little piece and have it coming out the top, like a little bit at the top like that. There we go. That'll take care of that. I'll line all that up so it looks like it's running through, and then my photo will look super nice like that. And I'm going to use a 3.5 by 5.5 inch photo, and I'm going to come back in with a photo mat as well. So I'm going to do a vertical photo here and then 2 horizontal photos off to the side. And then on this side, I kind of want to repeat the same two horizontals and 1 vertical, but I'm going to need some more color. I have a scrap of this pink, and I do want to bring pink in, thinking it's a 6-inch piece. Yeah, 6 inches. And this will give me a housing place for my photo. You see how I have it running off the mat here? I could do the same thing over here with that bottom photo, and then this photo as well. And I'm leaving this opened for journaling, or I have some mat cards I might bring in, but this would be a great spot for journaling as well. Let's bring in the photo mats and see what we want to do here. I have a few things already pulled aside. These are the matte cards I want to try and get used. But I did pre-cut some mats to save us some time today. This is Purple Ice, a little bit of a lavender feel. I love that, so I'm going to try and bring that in right here. And now I love where my blue is placed now. I could see it all around the photo, and I just will line everything up and maybe bring that one down just a tad. So what I did over here, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I brought in some canary yellow. When deciding these, I just kind of went with their recommendation. They have already told us what they think goes with the collection. And let's see, am I going to have room on here for 2 mats? I have to scoot some things up here, or I might have to put them on top of each other, which you can't really even see the seam, or cut a whole piece and make it one solid mat, and then it will fit nicely. I don't have room to leave a space between unless I went with a smaller photo. Clean that up a little bit and bring in a just one mat. Okay, but I love the colors that I've chosen so far. The purple, the yellow, it's the same that we used up here in our border. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. I have a little bit more room on this side, so I have to decide. I either am going to do the same thing, just line them up, put them on one photo mat, or I have room to separate. But I'm liking it. Now that I'm seeing it like this, I actually like that better. It looks like more uniform, having that solid piece on each side. And I'm going to leave this here. To finish this off, the little bit of decoration, more decoration, because like I said, I feel like I spent so much time making my pieces that I don't want to overdo this page. Let's put those aside for a minute. And I had a couple punch outs from a previous layout, and then a couple things I added. In fact, let's bring in the little journaling card. This one I cut out from my die cut machine. You can see it's the one with the little stitches. I use that one a lot. And I cut it on a peak scrap that I had so it would match this over here. And I went with the circles because we already used circles in our layout. And I'm hoping I have some room down here. Yeah, I'm going to tuck it under the photo. This one just came out of my embellishment cluster base box. It happened to be avocado, so I thought, why not? And I'm thinking to bring that circular element over here to my companion piece. I'm kind of liking it like that. Okay, let's look at these cards, because I'm going to have to do some trimming if I want these to fit on my layout. In fact, let's scoot this one up and give myself more room here, because it's going to match our borders so nicely. One fits nice. Can I get both? Let's see. I could fussy cut around. Let's try that. It won't take me long because it's mostly a square except for right up there. So we're going to try that. If I put them at an angle, oh, that's cute. That fits much better now that I cut them. This collection didn't have embellishments, so this is a good alternative. So I took up my journaling spot, but I did bring in this little card. You probably see it sitting here. I'm gonna try and scoot everything up just a little bit. So I have a little bit of room over here for some journaling. So let's see if we can squeeze this in. I'm thinking right about here, underneath my circle. Hopefully I won't have too much to say, because if so, I'll have to. I could always throw in a peekaboo pocket and put my journaling underneath one of the photos. So that's always a great option. Let's see what we want to do to finish this up and give it a little bit more. We'll bring our stickers back in and see what we can do here. I pulled this scrap here aside because I was thinking of probably fussy cutting that out. I have this white flower. It says Happy Spring. Find joy in the little things. Let me take this sticky off. I'm thinking right there, but of course now I'm thinking it needs some foam. Let's pop that up. Let me put it more at an angle on my circle, not so much in my journaling box since I'm kind of limited on space there. Let me look at this piece too. I have a couple nice white flowers I thought I would bring in. Matches the little ones in my sticker too. Give me a little something right there. And then I'm going to come back and get these two or side by side. But this is going to look really nicely right over here. There we go. That circle gave me the perfect place for that double flower. Let me bring in my leaf box and see if we could finish this off with a couple leaves. Let's see, I have a 5 leaf. Some from my die cut machine. I just throw everything in here. You guys know you've probably seen this too many times. Yeah, that really does add a little pop, doesn't it? I also have a long one. We can make it as long as we need it. I think I like the 5 leaf punch better. Let's tuck this one in a little bit more. There we go. Not quite the same shade. Oh, that's too close to, that must be avocado. Ooh, we do need something a little bit more Kelly greenish. I'm not really seeing anything except for my long leaves here. Let's see. Well, my scissors are getting the work out today. I'm going to get my micro tip scissors here, and I like the one that starts right like that. So let's see. I'm going to tuck this part in. Oh, let's come down here. There, that way it hits that white paper like that. Let's see if we should do the same thing on the other side. So it's this one right here that kind of gives it almost the same as this leaf. Look how it has a top leaf and then the 2 bottom ones. Bottom one here, because I'll tuck that in. There we go. A little bit smaller than the 5 leaf, so it doesn't stand out as much. I'm thinking maybe another set somewhere over here, but maybe not. And that's going to be my layout. I'll get everything adhered down and I will post a photo in my Facebook page. But thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me while I get a couple pages done. I hope that you are able to get something done today in your scrap room too, and I'll see you next week. Okay, so take care. Bye.